Hello everyone and welcome back if it's not your first time here to the Library of Phoebe. And it is already that time again, a new month, a new TBR. So we're here today to pick my May TBR. As you can see, I've kind of set up the cart a little differently. You can't really see the bottom shelf, but the bottom is just a continuation of the top, which is some reads that I would really like to get to in the next month or the next season, really. These are more like seasonal reads. I might change it out every season. And then up here we have reads that I've already started. And then right here are my most recent purchases. And in between, can't really see, but it is the TBR jar. So last month, if you saw that April TBR video, you can go watch it. I only picked 3 TBR jar prompts and then one of the random number TBR fails. And then I just told you some books I'm in the middle of that I want to get to. And I think I want to continue that sort of thing. So what I think I'm going to do is pick 3 TBR jar prompts, 1 random generated one, and then I'm going to do 2 free picks for myself every month. I think that might help me make sure I'm not putting too much on my TBR, and also making sure I can fit things like my book club pick, that sort of thing, onto the TBR. So without further ado, let's start with the TBR jar. I kind of don't want to take it out, so I might just go through here, and you'll have to believe me that it's the jar. Let's go with, is that just 1? No, that's 2. Okay, which do I pick, right or left? Let's go with right. Same vibe as my Pinterest homepage. Okay, that means I need to get my Pinterest homepage up. So this is what we're going with. It's a lot of red. There's some like ancient Greek stuff up here, crochet, tea, stuff like that. I think this is definitely an option. Andromeda by Therese Bohman. About up here. Maybe Memories of My Melancholy Horrors by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. This is down here. I think it's really between those two, but I think it's more Andromeda, to be honest. Okay, so for same vibe as my Pinterest homepage, we're gonna go with Andromeda by Therese Bohman. This is the last book of the month book I ordered, just because I want to work on my physical TBR, and I didn't really like all the selections that book of the month was putting out. But this one, it's a really short one. Here's what it says. A young editor develops a close bond with her boss in this shrewd novel about the tension between tradition and modernity and expectations and reality. A publishing house is anchored like a ship along Stockholm's main street, a large, bright building with an impressive rooftop terrace. The facade is a grid of wood and granite. Flags with cursive R sways in the wind, R's and write-ins. A young woman starts as an intern at this venerated institution and over many years gains more and more responsibilities for its authors and books, all under the supervision of Gunnar, publishing director of Andromeda, the most prestigious imprint behind the finest literature. Over time, their relationship transforms into something neither of them can truly define, perhaps built on mutual trust, or is it something else? With gorgeous, understated prose, Therese Bohman deftly explores how the work bleeds into our personal lives and the consequences of leaving behind old ways of doing business. Sounds like it will fit the vibe of my Pinterest homepage. I don't know what my thoughts on the book will be, but keep an eye out for those. Next, let's do another prompt from the jar. Let's go with this one. Black. That means black on the cover. I want the main color probably to be black since I have so many options. So it is Clytemnestra. Just Kids, which you can't see down here. The Little Friend by Donna Tartt and The Fellowship of the Ring. I would say The Little Friend, but I'm really hoping I can get another big book onto this TBR. So I think I'm not gonna go with The Little Friend, just because that one's a bit long. So I think what I'm gonna do actually is go with Clytemnestra. Is this one long? I guess it kind of is. 423 pages, but it is an ancient Greek myth retelling, which I feel tend to go faster for me. It's not as difficult, so we'll go with Clytemnestra. So this is what it says. Monarch, mother, murderer, magnificent. You're born to a king, but you marry a tyrant. You stand by helplessly as he sacrifices your child to placate the gods. You watch him wage war on a foreign shore, and you comfort yourself with violent thoughts of your own, because this was not the first offense against you. This was not the life you ever deserved, and this will not be your undoing. Slowly, you plot. When your husband returns in triumph, you become a woman with a choice. Acceptance or vengeance. Infamy follows both. So you bide your time and force the god's hand in the game of retribution, for you understand something long ago that the others never did. If power isn't given to you, you have to take it for yourself. A blazing novel set in the world of ancient Greece and told through the eyes of its most notorious heroine, this is a thrilling tale of power, prophecies, of hatred, of love, and of an unforgettable queen who fiercely dealt out death to those who wronged her. Clytemnestra is a figure from Greek tragedy who is so interesting to me. She's so dynamic. I've really only read Euripides' representations of her, but I'd be really interested in reading some other representations of her because I think like there's so much there in her character. Like she's so three-dimensional. I'm super excited to read this telling of it, even though it's a modern retelling. I still think it'll be interesting. I wonder how it'll hold up to what I've read of Euripides, but we will see. All right, let's do one last TBR jar pick before the random number generator one. Oh, is this one? I think so. Let's go with this one. Ooh, short stories. This is actually really perfect because I need a book to read in the morning and before bed. So I think something with short stories would be really good for that. I mean, I see one, but I'm just looking to make sure I don't have any more on here that I'd rather read, but I can't think of what I would rather read any other than Italian Folktales by Italo Calvino. So this is a big book. I know I just said I want to get a different big book. It's not this big book on the TBR, but since this one is just a bunch of short stories, I think I'm going to keep it on my bedside table and just read it. Probably not within the next month. I think there's like 200 stories in here. It's probably going to be the next couple months. I'll just read a few every day. Here's what it says. This landmark work brings together 200 of Italy's traditional folktales, selected and wondrously retold by Italo Calvino. They lure the reader into a world where kings and peasants, saints and ogres, spouses and lovers, along with an array of extraordinary plants and animals, disport themselves against a rich background of regional customs and history. Whether the tone is humorous and earthy, playful and nonsensical, or noble and mysterious, the drama unfolds strictly according to the joyous logic of the imagination. Italian folktales vaulted Calvino into the ranks of the great folklorists like the Brothers Grimm and Hans Christian Andersen. In this cherished collection, Calvino combines a sensibility attuned to the fantastical within a singular writerly ability to capture the visions and dreams of a people. So super excited to read these. They're like really short, just a few pages each. Perfect for bedtime and early morning reading. Okay, and now it is time to bring up the unread books from previous TBRs, aka TBR fail list. There's 19 books on here, so I'm just gonna ask Siri to pick a book between 1 and 19 for me. There's some on here that they're long. I'd be nervous to get them, but we'll see. Pick a number between 1 and 19.
That would be 13.
13. That's The Red Pony by John Steinbeck. That is actually in a big collection I have, so I'll go get that. John Steinbeck's short novels. The Red Pony is in here. This is actually kind of funny because one of the bigger books I want to get on this list is a John Steinbeck too, so we'll see if I get to both of them. This says, young Jody Tiflin lives on his father's California ranch. He is thrilled when his father gives him a red pony and later promises him the colt of a bay mare. Both these gifts bring joy to Jody's life, but tragedy soon follows. As Jody begins to learn the harsh lessons of life and death, he starts to understand what growing up and becoming an adult really means. So it's a very short little story in this collection. I'd be happy to read another one. I've already read The Moon is Down of Mice and Men and The Pearl. So The Red Pony, I really love John Steinbeck. Hence why I wanted to add a big John Steinbeck book on this TBR, and I think I still will. You know what? You can never have too much John Steinbeck in a month. It's time for me to add 2 books. I'm a little bit nervous to add the big one, I can't lie. We'll start instead by adding my May book club pick, which is Sula by Toni Morrison. At its center, Sula is a friendship between 2 women, a friendship whose intensity first sustains, then injures. Sula and Nell, both black, both smart, both poor, raised in a small Ohio town, meet when they are 12, wishbone thin and dreaming of princes. Through their girlhood years, they share everything, perceptions, judgments, yearnings, secrets, even crime, until Sula gets out of the bottom, the hilltop neighborhood where beneath the sporting life of the men hanging around the place in head rags and soft felt hats, there hides a fierce resentment at failed crops, lost jobs, thieving insurance men, bug-ridden flower, at the invisible line that cannot be overstepped. Sula leaps it and roams the cities of America for 10 years, when she returns to the town to her friend. But Nell is a wife now, settled with her man and her 3 children. She belongs. She accommodates to the bottom, where you avoid the hand of God by getting in it, by staying upright, helping out at church suppers, asking after folks, where you deal with evil by surviving it. Not Sula. As willing to feel pain as to give pain, she can never accommodate. Nell can't understand her anymore, and the others never did. Sula scares them. Mention her now, and they recall that she put her grandma in old folks' home, the old lady who let a train take her leg for the insurance, that a child drowned in the river years ago, and that there was a plague of robins when she first returned. I've read The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison before, and it was 5 stars, so this is definitely a 5-star prediction for me. Can't wait to get into it. I think I'll really love it, and I think there'll be a lot to dissect and take in this read. Next, and last, but certainly not least, the book I'm going to add to this month's TBR is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. So this is like the month of big books. We have a good balance, I think. 3 bigger books, 3 pretty short books. So, in case you don't know what East of Eden is about, I think I might do a full dedicated reading vlog to this one just because it's so highly anticipated for me. And look at this lovely copy of it. I found this at a used bookstore, and it's like literally never even been touched, it looks like. In his journal, John Steinbeck called East of Eden the first book, and indeed it has the primordial power and simplicity of myth. Set in the rich farmland of California's Salinas Valley, this sprawling and often brutal novel follows the intertwined destinies of 2 families, the Trasks and the Hamiltons, whose generations helplessly reenact the fall of Adam and Eve and the poisonous rivalry of Cain and Abel. Adam Trask came to California from the east to farm and raise his family on the new rich land, but the birth of his twins, Cal and Aaron, brings his wife to the brink of madness, and Adam is left alone to raise his boys to manhood. One boy thrives, nurtured by the love of all those around him. The other grows up in a loneliness enveloped by a mysterious darkness. First published in 1952, East of Eden is the work in which Steinbeck created his most mesmerizing characters and explored his most enduring themes, the mystery of identity, the inexplicability of love, and the murderous consequences of love's absence. A masterpiece of Steinbeck's later years, East of Eden is a powerful and vastly ambitious novel that is at once a family saga and a modern retelling of the book of Genesis. So excited to get to this one. Another, 5-star prediction, honestly, because I already know I love John Steinbeck's style in his shorter novels. This will be my first of his longer novels that I read. Wish me luck. Oh, it's a big one. So we got Andromeda by Therese Bohman for same vibe as my Pinterest homepage. Clytemnestra by Costanza Casati for black cover. Italo Calvino Italian folktales for short stories. The Red Pony by John Steinbeck for past TBR fail. And then Sula by Toni Morrison and East of Eden by John Steinbeck. Will I be able to get through all of these? Who knows? That is going to be a lot of reading in this month of May. I'm super excited to do it. I'm in a big reading mood lately anyways, so you know what? If any month is the month to do it, it's this one. So thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, comment if you've read any of these books, if you have any book recommendations based on these books, or if you have any TBR jar prompts you want to see in future videos. Subscribe too if you want to see my thoughts on these reads when I'm done them. I just posted a little wrap up, so if you are interested in my reviews, go watch that. And I will see you next time on the Library of Phoebe.